Hi, my name is Mark Robinson. I am the creator of Just Conflict and the director of the Center for Creative Conflict Resolution and the teacher for this course called 10 Disciplines. I've been teaching material about how it is that we live more deeply into our lives for a very long time, and out of that has sort of come up these 10 disciplines. So this video is an introduction to a series in a course called the 10 Disciplines. And so I want to give you kind of a general idea of what it is that I'm talking about here with disciplines and why you have them. We all have them. We can sometimes be a little bit allergic to the whole idea of a discipline because the word discipline can also be used to mean punishment, and nobody likes to get punished. So I want to be very clear, we're not talking about punishments. We're talking about doing the things, being disciplined to do the things that create what we need in our lives. And we do that by establishing certain routines, certain rituals. You will notice that you tend to brush your teeth the same way. You pick out your clothes the same way. But no, there's some dynamic qualities to that because I pick out my clothes differently in the summer than I do in the winter, right? So we are adaptive. So we do things that will move us towards something that we need, but we can shift them from time to time so that what we're doing is more effective. There's a group of folks and as a part of an organization called the Institute of Noetic Sciences, which did some studies some years back looking at various kinds of disciplines. Mostly they were looking at spiritual disciplines, though not particularly associated with a given religion, but simply disciplines that we do in order to get closer to ourselves, to kind of center down into who we are. And they noticed some patterns. And I want to share those with you because these are going to be characteristic of all of the disciplines, all of these 10 disciplines that I want to teach you as a part of this course. The first characteristic of a discipline is that we do it for a reason. There's an intention. There's something that is a goal, an aim, a target. This is what I'm trying to create for me in my life by doing this. In order to fulfill on this intention, we have to pay attention. That is, there has to be something that I'm watching. So I may be working out at the gym and I pay attention to what's going on. Am I holding my hands in the right way? Do I have the right posture? I have to pay attention to that. I can't do a discipline just once and have that make any kind of difference. It's something that I have to do over and over again. I brush my teeth routinely, sometimes even more than once a day, right? So these are things that we repeat over and over again. And because they are part of a dynamic quality within our lives, we need to experience some kind of guidance or direction, both from within. Can I pay attention to what's coming up for me when I do this, as well as get guidance from others, because the workout coach at the gym is going to tell me, okay, no, do it this way, it'll work better. Or this is so others have information about the disciplines that I'm doing that will help me do it better. So all of our all of our disciplines are going to have the characteristics of intention, attention, repetition, and direction. We do these because they make our life better. Right? Now, I just want to call attention to this, what you can see here around me, which is that down here at the bottom, there are some URLs for websites. And the one here, the creativeconflictresolution.org, that one has way more than you're going to want to read about the disciplines. So if you click on that, and that's available in other places around this site as well. And links to this video that you could have come to by all of the ones that we have over here. These are the websites there, right? Okay, so there are 10 disciplines, but they kind of come in two different flavors. The first 5 are the mindfulness disciplines, which is to say that they're the things that we do for ourselves, by ourselves, to become more mindful. That is, to be able to pay more attention to what it is that's going on in our lives, such that we can deepen down into who we are and we can become more centered. I want to say just a little bit about what it means to be mindful and thus centered. There's this thing we call locus of control, which is when you consider what is going on in your life that is controlling what's happening to you. Do you see the center of that control, the location from which that control comes, as primarily outside of you or primarily within you? The more we can pull into ourselves the locus of control, so more and more I have a sense of it's my choices that are creating what's going on in my life. The more I can do that, the more I'm in control of my life, because I'm the center of it now. It's my choices that really matter. We have some reasons why we resist that, and we're going to confront those as we move through these 10 disciplines. But the first 5 in particular are mindfulness disciplines. They have to do with, first of all, am I willing to pay attention to the things that are bothering me? Am I willing to pay attention to the things that, the emotions, the sensations, my experiences? Do I really want to know what's going on with me when some of those things can be, frankly, quite troubling? Do I want to pay attention to the feedback that I'm getting from others in such a way that I can relate it to how it is that I can make different choices? It's going outside myself to hear what's going on with how others see me, but do I want to take in that critical feedback? Do I want to notice what it is that I do? This 4th discipline is to pay attention to what it is that I do to soothe myself when I get anxious. We all have the capacity to soothe ourselves, hopefully, otherwise we're just going to be overwhelmed all the time. But sometimes we soothe ourselves into oblivion and we don't actually then pay attention. So am I mindful about what I do that's self-soothing? And the 5th one is the most complicated. As we move through the 5, you're going to see they get more and more complicated here. The 5th one has to do with what is the routine that I've set up for myself in my life, such that I'm every day doing what I decided was in my best interest to do. And I notice when I don't. I notice when it is that I'm sabotaging or abandoning myself. Okay, so those are the first 5, and we're going to work through those. And then the second 5, the practical disciplines, those have more to do with what am I actually doing in my relationships with other people when something's not right, when I'm feeling irked or bothered or in conflict with somebody else. How do I be aware of the patterns? How do I notice when I'm not being accountable? How do I clean things up by making apologies? How do I respond to the patterns of conflict that show up? And how do I then create, in my relationships with others, durable agreements so that we're actually creating the relationship that we both need? So that's a kind of very quick summary of the 10 disciplines. And we're going to work through them. And if you're doing this as a part of the class, each week we're going to take on a new one so we can kind of work through it bit by bit. So if you're interested in joining the class, you can sign up for that. But here are the videos, so stay tuned. We'll work through these.